Okay, YouTube, so confession time. Apparently I'm an idiot. I have spent all day, while I've been making other videos, charging my camera. Said battery for camera is now charged. Put battery in camera, go to make another video. Then I suddenly realised the camera that I thought recorded video doesn't. It's an old model of a digital LSR, and it doesn't record video, which is great. So you're stuck with this format for now, I'm afraid. Sorry. Oh, tea is so good. I had intended, of course, to start doing the Pagan challenge videos with my camera in the other room in better light, but that's not going to happen until I find my bridge camera, and I can't actually find that at the moment. My bridge camera does record video and is much better for that kind of thing. So that said, when I find said bridge camera, I'll be making videos in better light so you can actually see me now and again. That said, I'm going to crack on with the first video of the Pagan challenge anyway, because I have quite a bit to catch up with. And I'm actually going to combine the first 4 prompts into one video, actually, because they also do with Grimoires. So I'm just going to quickly read, well, I'll do it as I go along, but basically the first 4 prompts for the YouTube Pagan Challenge in 2017 are about books, sacred books, you know, books that you use in your practice. So I'm going to sort of combine the two, but I'll do them in 4 separate sections so that it's quite obvious which prompt I'm answering, if that makes sense. So the first one is show and tell, your grimoires, notebooks, journals, etc. What type of book do you prefer? Now, I have so many books that I work with that if I pulled every single one out, we would be here all day. This video on its own would be about 3 hours. Because I'm one of those people, I can't keep everything in one book. I like to separate out my thoughts, so I have a book for tarot, and I have a book for this, and I have a book for that. But what I have done is I've managed to pull 2 of my main ones together. I do have a magical journal, which I won't show in this video because it's downstairs in my handbag, and I'm going to have to dig it all out and come back up, and by the time I do that, I'd be inspired to do this video now, so let's just roll with it, basically. I can, if I can see it, show you one of my herbal books. So I'm just grab that quickly. Talk amongst yourselves while I'm out of shot. La 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 la. Make up on the song when I'm staring at my bookshelf. La 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 la. Come on, you bugger. There you go. Right. Okay. Hello. So now that I have managed to retrieve that, I can show that to you. Okay, so I'm just going to pull up my own interface here so I can see myself. I am making eye contact with the camera, but you can't tell because of my glasses and the stupid reflection I have going on. So apologies for that. Right. So now that I've rambled for 3 minutes, let's get to the actual subject of the video. So basically, I have 3 main things that I use, and they're rather heavy. So bear with me. I have a ring binder. I have a cloth bound book of shadows that was custom made for me, and I have my herbal journal, and as I already said, I have my magical journal, which is not going to be in this video for a minute, but I will show it in subsequent videos. So the first thing I use is a ring binder, and the reason that I use a ring binder as well as something else is because I find a ring binder really handy for things like articles that you want to print out, news articles, because I like to keep those, handouts from different workshops that you attend that you can't really stick in a book of shadows because they're printed double-sided or whatever, rituals I've performed that have been printed double-sided, like I did a hand fasting ritual for some friends several years ago. All that sort of thing goes into my ring binder. So it's a very, very big binder. I'm not sure if you can see that. So this is a lever arch file. So inside I have, this is really hard to do it in this medium, but I'll do the best I can. So I've got my title page, the book blessing, some information on the god, there's a spell section, poetry I've written, a vow I made. These are some printed pages I printed off the internet. More spells. I can't read upside down, so this is really difficult for me to do. As you can see, there's quite a lot of stuff in here. What's the hand western ritual I did. This is a course I did on traditional witchcraft, which I printed all the handouts and put them in here. Yeah, there's quite a bit of that, it's quite long. Where we are now. Yeah, more traditional witchcraft stuff. I have quite a wide range in magical interest. Some certificates that I printed out, things I've done. Spells from various places. Basically, this started out with sort of like a travelling spell book, because it's much easier to like this around with you, because it's just a big ring binder than it is a big, obvious looking spell tome. So these are some pictures, more certificates, some stuff about the Fellowship of Isis. I printed out the original handbook, emails about witchy thingies. This was a joke, official salmon certificate that I had from an online shop several years ago. I also have the official witch one to go with it, which I thought was pretty funny. And then at the back, then I've got some printouts of magazines. Well, not printouts, they are actual magazines, but that I bought on eBay, and my ordination certificates for the Universal Life Church, and so on and so forth. So all that is in there. So this is getting pretty full now, but I will probably keep adding to it because this is what I do. So that's that one. It's very, 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 very heavy. Secondly, I'm so proud of this, it's unreal. A few years ago, my husband paid for me to have a custom-made Book of Shadows on Etsy. I would link the Etsy seller in the down bar, however, he does not make books anymore. He stopped his online shop about maybe 6 to 8 months after I bought this. Which is actually really sad, because it's an excellent book and it's so well made. But this is my custom-made Book of Shadows. As you can see, it's got ribbons. I have a peacock feather, the wrong way, that is there. I'm no artist, but this is the title page that I designed. My voice sounds like I'm struggling because this book is so heavy. I'm not going to share the full contents of this because partly because I haven't done that much in it yet, and also because a lot of stuff that goes in here is quite private, you know, as a Book of Shadows should be. That said, I will share my book blessing with you and the first page because it's just so we can read. This is my calligraphy. It's not brilliant. Which way am I going? This way. It's not brilliant, but I thought it was important to have the first couple of pages in calligraphy. To be honest, as time has gone on, I've stopped. Mainly because it takes up a lot more space than normal writing. So something that would have normally taken a page takes more like 3 when you write it in calligraphy, and that's a lot for me. So that's that one, and then the one I just disappeared off to get is this one. I don't know if you can see that. There's an embossed leaf print on the front. I got this one when I started doing my ovate training with OBOD. This is still ongoing. I've sort of let it go because I haven't really been in a space where I can devote any time to it. But these are just mainly my notes on herbs, my way of working through the exercises in the course, and that's what I use that for. So I guess it's kind of like a herbal journal, ovate journal slash, yeah, magical workbook. Oh, geez, I feel really hit the spot today. I realise I've said that every time I've taken a sip, but so good, man. Okay, so now I've shown you my books. I'm going to get to the second part. How do you protect and consecrate your book or books? Protection is... to be honest, I sort of there's a protection charm placed on my books when I consecrate them, and I consecrate them in very much the same way as I suppose many Wiccan practitioners would. I present the book to the 4 elements and ask that it be blessed and protected by my patron deities and the 4 elements. It's a very simple ritual. It doesn't really take a lot of effort. Well, it takes a lot of effort in terms of magical effort, but you know what I mean. It's not a long, complicated ritual where I have to draw this sigil in this particular manner and then turn 75 degrees north, and you know, it's not complicated. In terms of protection, I do trace runes on my books periodically. They're kept in a place where there's not a hell of a lot of foot traffic in my house, so no, I don't keep them downstairs where I receive guests, because I wouldn't want people just randomly picking them up and going through. I did have my one on a book stand in my windowsill because I wanted it to get the light of the moon, but my father decided to randomly wander into this room and start leafing through it, which annoyed me a little. So since then I've been placing more protection charms on them and keeping them in safer places. I think that's really all you can do for your books. I mean, short of disguising them as something else, which I know people have. I did hear a story once that somebody lived with, I think it was like really Catholic or really staunch Christian parents, and they didn't have all the accoutrements. They didn't have an altar out of respect to their parents, but they did have a magical diary. They did have a book of shadows, and the only way they could keep that safely was, I think, they had like an old phone book, and they literally glued all the pages together. You know, they cut in the middle of the pages out, glued all the pages together, and put it in the middle, and then shut it and put it on the shelf. That was the only way they could do it, which was actually quite ingenious, really. But yeah, you know, I mean, book protection is as it is. You know, if you're in a particular part of the world where witchcraft is frowned upon or illegal, you need to take much more stringent protection actions, then, for want of a better word, than you do if you live in a Western country where witchcraft is legal. Possibly frowned upon, but legal. So that's that one. How to organise your book. A table of contents, bookmarks, etc. Right, okay. Hands up, I will admit that I am the least organised person on the planet when it comes to my books. The reason for this is I'm very stream of consciousness. I love the idea, in theory, of having a book where everything is tabbed, and you know, the only way I think you can really achieve that is if you either have a post-bound book, like a scrapbook style book, or you have a ring binder. And even then, I love the idea in practice. I wish I could make it work. I love the idea in theory, sorry. I wish I could make it work in practice. The fact of the matter is, I can't. So I'm very stream of consciousness. I will try, in my ring binder, for example, to group all the spells in one part, and all the rituals in another part, and the god and goddess thing in another part. But it's very piecemeal. It's not tightly organised and categorised off. That said, if you are that kind of person and that comes naturally to you, then that's the way to do it. You know, have sections, maybe even make dividers. The only way I do break that rule is I do have a folder on my computer which is for my Book of Shadows, and on my computer, weirdly, I'm the other way around. Everything has to be in its own particular folder, the folders have to be correctly named, the files have to be correctly named. So it's weird in that I can do it electronically, but I can't do it physically, which I suppose is kind of weird, really. But yeah, so basically just organise your book however you feel called. You know, if you're one of these people, like if you're super organised and you need everything in a particular place at a particular time, great, do it, go for it. Especially, I would suggest doing it on a computer though, because it's so easy for things to get lost. Computer files to get corrupt. You know, if you have other people using your computer, things can move around on their own somehow. I don't know how that happens, but it does. Excuse me. So yeah, basically organise your book as you feel called. Dividers work, post-bound books work really well if you don't have sections, as do ring binders. In a handwritten book, such as the one my custom made one that I had, that I showed you earlier, it doesn't really. I mean, at a push you can leave loads of blank pages, but I find that harder to find things, so I just tend to go along. Everything's chronological. Whatever date I've written it down, that's the order it's in, basically. So yeah, and then the one I thought, which I can sort of get my teeth into a little bit, is how to start your book. This is a hard thing for a lot of people, and as a writer I hear you on it, because I know how hard it can be when you're looking at a blank screen or a blank sheet of paper and the thought in your mind is like, shit, what do I do now? I don't want to mark this paper, I don't know what to put down, what do I do? And first of all, I hear you, 100% I hear you. It's even worse when you have a beautiful book like the one I showed you that has been specially made for you, and the first thing is, I don't want to ruin it. But what I found helpful in that situation was to remember that I had that book custom made. The book was custom made for me to use. It was custom made as a magical tool. It's not serving me or my goddess or my deities, or it's not serving anybody if it's just sat there gathering dust. Okay? A book only really becomes a book when you write in it. A book only becomes a book when you start to use it. Otherwise, it's just a bunch of sheets of paper. You know, technically speaking, it has no more intrinsic value than a pile of printer paper for your printer. Okay, in my opinion, anyway. So you have to realise that, or at least I think, what helped me personally was the thought that this isn't a magical tool unless I make it one. So I started off, allow me to just reach down here so I can show you something. The first thing I do with all my Books of Shadows, and I've done this with the Coven Book of Shadows that I've recently started as well, is this. A first page which basically lays out what this is, what year I began it, because I think keeping everything in date order is useful when you look back. And I put a little bit, even though I'm no artist, I put a little bit of art on it just because then I wanted to make it my own. It's the same with the drum that I bought. I'm sort of going off topic a little bit, but I wanted to show you this one. I have it here. So a while ago I did, I think it was this time last year actually, I did a workshop in Glastonbury with the lovely, beautiful and talented Laura Dallaghan, which involved painting a sacred drum. The result of that process is downstairs in a drum bag. I will show you at some point. But more recently I've been inspired to create one on my own. And I think sometimes when you're in a creative area like a workshop like so, you know, like the one that Laura put on, you know, you've got the lovely altar, you have the lovely incense burning, we had 10 or 12 people all there engaging with it, and of course you had Laura herself, who's an absolutely incredibly talented artist. they're helping you and giving you encouragement. It's so much easier to do it in that kind of setting. But I wanted to have a go on my own. Because, like I said, I'm no artist. Drawing does not come naturally to me. I wish it did, because my books of shadows would be a lot more interesting visually if I was. But that said, I thought, I'm going to have a go. I'm going to throw caution to the wind, and I'm just going to take whatever Goddess gives me and run with it. So I did, and I decided that I wanted the drum to be to feature a wolf. Wolf seems to be one of my totem animals at the moment. I always feel wolf energy around me. So I found some pictures online to help inspire me, and I basically set off. Well, this is the result. This is the wolf drum that I painted. It's not a very big drum. It's probably about 12 or 13 centimeters. But he's really lovely. He sounds fabulous, and he's just a reminder to myself that when I see him, I think, I did that. This wolf is mine. I'm actually really proud of myself for that one, so I just wanted to share that really quickly, because he was staring at me as if to say, I want to be on the video too! Put me on the video! So I put him on the video. But yeah, but going back to, you know, starting your book, just, it can be as simple as just writing the Book of Shadows or the Grimoire of, and your name. Your magical name, your real name, whatever name you feel most called to, and then just put the year. And so I sometimes find that once you've done that, things start to fall into place. The next logical thing, which really helps to put into your book, is a book blessing. You can write your own. I wrote my own in the big one, in the big tome. Or you can take one that you find online and adapt it. I would suggest you adapt it. Don't use it exactly as it is, because then it, you know, it's not yours. It hasn't got your energies in it. But you can, of course, adapt something you find online and use that. And then, before you even know what you've done 2 pages of it. So you've broken the sort of mental barrier of, oh, I can't ruin this book, because you already technically, you know, you've already stamped your energy into it, and you've already started to use it. So then I think it breaks that psychological barrier, and it becomes a lot easier to do. So yeah, so this is my very long, Christ, nearly 23 minutes. I'm sorry, okay. But it's, for four videos in one, that's not too bad, I don't think. So yeah, so that's my grimoires, my books of shadows, my magical journals, my whatever else you like to call them. Any questions, comments, please feel free to jump into the comments below, send me a message. I'm pretty approachable. I answer most messages and comments as much as I can. So yeah, so that's that. I will soon be doing, coming up next on the YouTube Pagan Challenge 2017, as done by Kimble Witchery, we will have magical talents and psychic techniques. Wow, interesting. That's going to be the next video, that's just stay tuned. So thank you very much for watching this insanely long rambly video, and blessed be, guys. Have a lovely day. Bye bye.